Hello guys and welcome to an episode of League of Legends. Today I'm going to be showing you all the moves and weaknesses and strengths of Akali. Now Akali is one of my favourite, and I mean most favourite, of all League of Legends characters. Mainly because her finisher doesn't require any cooldown. It takes a while, but it actually loads up a kind of shadow move which you can use quite often. It's very good for taking down enemies who are quite far away or trying to escape, and it's really a very good character to have. Although I'm not sure about the price of Akali, I'm pretty sure she's still 6,300 influence points or 975 right points. She does not come cheap, as most of you probably know anyway. Welcome back guys, I know you missed me. Who doesn't miss me? Come on, really. But anyway, as I was saying,
agreed.
These are basically three abilities, the ones down here. This one I would suggest getting first, mainly because as soon as it deals damage as it hits the opponent, as well as when it hits them, it does extra damage when you actually go up to them and hit them. I'll show you when this game actually starts, but for now I'll just go through all of her current abilities. This one, Twilight Shroud, is
symmetry in
I'd think of it as a backup skill. You don't necessarily need to have it during the game unless you get damaged a lot, which normally with Akali I don't, so I normally just leave the skill out. But what it does is that you click it and then it makes a shroud which turns her invisible, and as you can see increases her armor and magic resistance by 10. It's a really handy move when getting out of a tight spot, especially if there's a loads of enemies. You can basically just disappear for a short while, regain a bit of health, and then go back into fighting. It's quite handy when you're a higher level and there's more enemies around that can kill you, but for the lower levels it's really not necessary at the moment. Lastly, with her, well, it's not really lastly, her third skill is basically just an area damage. It just attacks all of the nearby enemies around her. As you can see, it does 30 physical damage, so you need to get those stats up real quick, because then it'll do a lot more damage. And then this move that I was talking about before, Shadow Dance, it only requires one essence of shadow. Now if you're wondering what that is, it's basically when you actually unlock the ability, there'll be a timer right here that will keep going and going until it reaches 3 levels, and then once that maxes out, it doesn't even have to max out, you can use it any time, 1, 2 or 3, but you basically just click the move and then just use it. Later in the game I'll show you a video with me using all of these 4 different moves, and then you can see which one you think you'd use yourself. Which means if I use the move which I'm going to show you now, it gets rid of 1 charge, which means it has to reload again. Hey guys, welcome back, and now I'm going to show you the strengths and weaknesses of Ashe. Now I may have mentioned before, but she is basically one of the first characters that you try in the tutorial, and the first more recommended characters in the game for you to have. Now at the moment she has 4 very basic kind of skills. Actually, let's say 3 actually. The first one, you activate it, and as you can see it slows down the enemy by 15% for 2 seconds. That's per basic shot. Now as you upgrade this, they will be slowed further and further more, but for the same duration of 2 seconds. So for example, if you deliver that to level 3, it will probably be about 25%. So they'll be a lot slower when they're walking. The second ability is very handy for trying to slow down enemies as well. So basically all her moves generally slow down enemies. Basically all you do is just aim in the area, click, shoot, and it slows them down simply like that. Now it only slows them down as the same duration as the frost shot, so it only lasts for 2 seconds, which means that if you're going to try and kill someone, you have to do it quite fast. Unless you've got a lot of movement speed, which helps a lot with Ashe, so she can catch enemies and quickly slow them down. The third move, Hawk Shot, it simply gains Ashe extra gold from every enemy she kills, as you can read in the description. And as well, when you actually shoot something, the arrow that you shoot will actually light up the terrain. So if I was to shoot an arrow forward, for example, it would actually show all the darkness areas around here, which is especially good for knowing where enemies are if they're hiding or traveling between different places. And lastly, Ashe has got an enchanted crystal arrow. Now as you can see, this does 250 damage, which is quite a lot to be honest. And the further along that you fling the arrow and it hits someone means the more damage that they will actually take and the longer duration of the stun, which is a good move to really have. It's especially helpful if someone's running away on low health and you can basically just shoot them from afar, stop them, and then just instantly kill them. So overall, Ashe's skills are mainly for slowing down enemies, as you can see, which makes her quite a good person to have when you're trying to kill someone, especially when you're trying to get away. Now while I continue with this fight, I'll show you bits and pieces in between of all the moves that she has. Okay, now I'm going to activate the first one, Frost Shot, and now, see, every time I hit her, she slows down a bit, so it's very great for attacking enemies. The only bad thing about this move though, is that every time it hits an enemy, it drains your mana, so make sure to turn it off, so just to make sure you don't waste your mana, because mana is quite important. See, as you sort of saw just then, as soon as I killed the enemy, you see a 1 G sign just appear above her head. It means that she just killed that enemy, but she gets the extra gold. I'll show you again just a second time just to show you, if I don't get killed in the process. See, it just came up again, and that's how you know with Hawk Shot that you've just killed an enemy. It even shows overall at the bottom how much gold you've actually received from killing enemies. Okay guys, now if I could try to get through, I'm going to show you Ashe's enchanted crystal arrow skill as soon as the enemies come back. So basically you just shoot the arrow like this, and since it travelled so far it knocks it out for longer, which is a good skill. And as you see now, I'm about to... Nope! See, unluckily there I wasn't able to kill her. But that's why this move is really good. It stops people in their tracks the further along the arrow goes. Now guys, I think that will be the end of this video today. I will try and post more League of Legends analysis of characters sometime during either this week, next week, or in a couple of days, I'm not sure. I'll be sure to subscribe, like, favourite the video, and I'll be back for more content. Bye!